Previously on the all-new adventures of the Doctor Who Book Club podcast.
Okay, I think we've now reached the stage of proceedings where you tell us what we are going to be doing next for October. Anything spooky?
We're going to get a little spooky and twisted.
Ooh.
Halloween is right around the corner, so we're going to be spending some time with Missy as we read the short story anthology, The Missy Chronicles, which originally came out in February of 2018 and features 6 different short stories.
So, very good.
Yeah, including one by Jacqueline Rayner, Cavan Scott, and Paul Magrs, and some other familiar names as well. So
great.
Looking forward to that.
Brilliant. Yeah, new Missy material. Does sound good.
And now our story continues.
Welcome, everyone, to the all-new adventures of the Doctor Who Book Club podcast. This is Matt in Minnesota.
Chris in South London. How's it going, Matt?
It's going well. Happy October, Chris. I hear things are quite exciting in the UK at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, well, things are fun. Yes. I walked to my local petrol station just to see what the situation was today. There are issues with getting petrol to the pumps here in the UK, specifically in London right now. And last week we drove down from Scotland to London, which is a fun journey to do when there are shortages of petrol at the pumps.
Well, geez, that seems like quite a difficult undertaking.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So this month we're reviewing the short story anthology, The Missy Chronicles. Will we say something nice about it? Stay tuned and find out. But first, we have a bit of news, Chris, that's quite exciting. The return of Russell T Davies has been announced to Doctor Who.
Yeah.
The RTD2 era.
Yes.
What was your first sort of reaction or impression, when you heard the news?
So my first reaction was actually a metaphor came to mind, because I'd heard it, just literally seconds after watching a salmon trying to leap up a waterfall.
Oh.
Because salmons go home. And I kind of thought, this is the perfect metaphor. Apart from the fact that this salmon, I think, was possibly a little bit new to the whole jumping up waterfalls lark and was jumping up the wrong waterfall. But yeah, I just kind of thought, I hope that he's going to be bringing new things to it. He must be coming with new things. I mean, it's been 12 years or so or probably 13, 14 years since he was actually writing any new Doctor Who. So he must have had new ideas during that time frame. I am a little bit infuriated by all these people saying, oh yeah, that means Billie Piper's coming back. I was like, I would rather she didn't. I'd rather we had new stuff. But the thing is, I'm very sympathetic to the argument that if RTD had nothing to do with Doctor Who before, but instead, we've just been told that the writer of Years and Years and It's a Sin was taking over Doctor Who, people would be so excited, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the RTD that's coming back is very different from the one that left the series, and has a whole bunch of more different life experiences and things that have happened that I think will influence and impact his writing for sure. Yeah,
I think it will probably be darker and angrier, is my thinking. I'm not entirely sure we're going to be going back to kind of like family tea time.
Oh, I was kind of hoping for that, so we'll see. I guess my first reaction was one of like relief, where I felt like, oh, the show will be in good hands, and I may have hoped for like a different showrunner, who might bring new ideas or experiences to the show. I think with the combination of Bad Wolf Productions coming on and the return of Julie Gardner and Jane Tranter as well, I think some of those concerns may have been alleviated. I really hope he continues the progress Chibnall's made around bringing in more women writers and directors.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something that, well, more so the Moffat era, but, his era also suffered from.
Yeah, I suspect that we'll be probably seeing quite a few new writers coming through. I mean, I think, at least the way that I think it's probably going to play out is he's possibly also going to be helping nurture new talent writing as well as potentially taking over from him.
My very first thought was one of, after that initial sense of like relief, it was, that also means that Doctor Who Magazine and Big Finish are safe from a license renewal perspective for, years to come. And that's where my mind went immediately.
Yeah.
And then it was, oh, maybe we'll start getting 9 books a year again in groups of 3 like we had previously. But a lot of that, I think, depends on where things are going. I know he's talked in interviews about the capacity of Doctor Who and its expanded universe to really support multiple TV series kind of in like an MCU or Star Wars model.
Yeah, the Adventures of Nyssa he's spoken about.
Or bring on the Paul McGann and Joe Martin miniseries. And does it mean the return of Christmas specials? There's all sorts of places my mind goes. One kind of interesting tidbit that I saw on Twitter was that in the Target novelization of Rose, which was written by Russell T Davies, Clive, the Doctor Who fan character that Rose goes to meet, he has pictures of all the future doctors on his bulletin board. And one of the doctors after Jodie is described as a tall, bald black woman wielding a flaming sword. So... based on the line in that novel, I kind of hope Russell casts Tanaya Miller or, Lydia West as the 14th Doctor. That would be, I think, incredible.
So he does typically recast people, doesn't he? Or like use the same. He does like to reuse actors. I think the chances of it being Lydia West are pretty good. I think as well, despite his management's denials, I think the chances of Ollie Alexander is also...
Having a female doctor and a male companion, I think, would be a great...
Yeah,
because we didn't really have that with Jodie. I mean, we had kind of the extended Hartnell or Davison-style TARDIS team.
Well, I was thinking of Ollie Alexander as a doctor, but yeah, and also I think Russell Tovey, who RTD has spoken about in the past as being a potential future doctor, also has a good shot as well, I think. But it just, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is somebody that we have seen in RTD productions. I'll also point out that RTD has had Hugh Grant work for him. In the early years of the revival, whenever they were casting a doctor, they would often go and see, is Hugh Grant available?
He's also had Emma Thompson work for him.
Yes.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Like, if I had to pick 3 things that I would want him to keep, I would say the current exterior shell of the TARDIS, kind of that black sign with the blue light. I really like that and think it could use another couple years. I would really like Sagan Akinola to stay on the show.
Yes.
As much as I enjoy Murray Gold, he's scored 10 series of the show now, and Sagan's only had 3 with this upcoming one. And I really like the current logo, and just from a perspective of it appearing on the Blu-ray collections, I don't want them to change it. Oh.
Yeah, I would like a different TARDIS interior, please.
Oh, yeah. A new console room for sure.
Yeah, I've never warmed to this one.
And I really hope Ace gets a spin-off. Like, Sophie could do one, like Sarah Jane Adventures.
Yeah.
I also kind of really want the aspect ratio to go back to the 1.78, even though I know they're probably going to keep the more cinematic look. I really did like how it looked visually, like especially in the Capaldi era. I thought the grading was fantastic, but I do prefer that, the aspect ratio that fits your screen.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I just thought of another potential casting, and I am going to get her surname wrong, so apologies. Angie Mahandra, so Rani from Sarah Jane.
Oh.
Who has been in a TV series called Valiant that has just finished airing with Saran Jones. And she is it's the first thing that I've seen of her, I think, other than Doctor Who universe stuff. And yeah. That
would be great.
She'd be very cool.
She is married to Sasha Dewan, or I think is her.
Oh, yes, of course she is.
So she's been on, she's even been on like Behind the Sofas and stuff. But I think it would be fantastic if he cast her as the Rani. And then you could have her play Rani and the Rani. That would be...
Well, yeah, could you have the Rani and the Master? Well, I suppose they could be travelling around together. They could be, you could have the Rani and the Master together. We've had a two Master story. We have the Rani and the Master again.
All sorts of possibilities, but for now, our attention is seeing Jodie off and supporting Series 13, because that sounds like is going to be announced for late October or early November.
Yes.
Given that she's starting appearing on Graham Norton and some other shows.
Yeah. So who knows, listener? I suspect that you may know by the time you listen to this when the new season is, and you may have already watched an episode, because it's a crazy world at the moment. So,
anything's possible.
Yes, as has been shown on a regular basis. Yes.
So, Chris, let's move on to show and tell. What do you have for us this month?
So, I have for you Culloden. Which is it is a battleground outside Inverness that I went to last month, and it is also where Jamie McCrimmon escaped from just before the events of the Highlanders.
Oh, yes.
And also is depicted in Outlander. I've not been to many battlefields. It's not something that especially appeals to me. However, gosh, it was a very moving thing, and it was also very well done. There are just these simple red flags which mark where the government forces were, and blue flags which mark where the Highlanders were. And also by each flag there's kind of like markers saying which regiments and clans stood there. And so we stood at one point where the MacLeods and the McLarens, the MacLeods and the MacLeans stood, and because in the Highlanders the McCrimmons are pipers to the MacLeans, whereas in real life they were pipers to the MacLeods. So I kind of think that somebody went on holiday to Scotland and got slightly confused on the details, but obviously couldn't check Wikipedia in those days.
I'm trying to think what the closest U.S. equivalent of all of that would be. Would it be the Hatfields and the McCoys in the Appalachian Mountains, or I don't know.
I don't know. I was thinking that it was in many ways it was almost like a civil war.
So it was a lot bigger than just like a family. Okay.
Oh yes, yeah. The Jacobite army, led by Bonnie Prince Charlie, got as far as Derby in England. So they conquered Edinburgh, but not the castle, Carlisle, Manchester, and got as far as Derby, and then realised they were not really getting the popular support that they felt that they needed, and so a decision was made to retreat. But it was spectacularly moving, and definitely well worth a visit. Though it's an interesting battlefield because people go dog walking around there as well. So
you got tourists and then just the locals. Wow.
Yeah, and they're just somebody's walking past with kind of like a little Scotty Terrier. It's like, oh, okay, please don't pee on the graves. But yeah, they have an amazing visitor centre that has this immersive cinema where on all sides you are seeing screens of the war and the battle, and it's just It's fantastic stuff. Yeah, it's definitely worth your visit.
And so the Highlanders was set there, but that would have been filmed much farther away, right? They didn't go up to Scotland for any of that.
No. I think it was filmed in Frensham Ponds, the same place where Alzarius is. So I think it was filmed not too far away from London. But yeah, and also because Highlanders, the action goes to Inverness, so I was kind of thinking as we were driving, oh, maybe Jamie walked past this way. but also that feels very disrespectful, given
right.
Yeah, everything was like we're tracing the footsteps of a fictitious character because there were some real horrific things that happen around here. But yeah, Culloden, it's an amazing, thought-provoking place to go.
Fantastic.
Yes. So, how about you, Matt?
Something much more pedestrian, I'm afraid, than traveling to another country or city. But no, for me, I've been watching the season 24 Blu-ray set that has recently come out. And while this has not been my favorite season, this might actually be my favorite box set yet in terms of the value-added material. I've gone through and watched extended versions of all of the episodes, which really kind of exaggerate and highlight some of the camp and dark comedy aspects. I've watched some of the location and studio footage, the rap party on Barry Island, and Sylvester McCoy's trick with the really long band of elastic. We'll leave that there. And all of the behind the sofas. I mean, it was just brilliant having Colin Baker react to Sylvester's first season for the first time, because he had never seen it before, and seeing how like interested into it he gets, where he's like, because he's watching it with Michael Jaston, and he like shushes him, and he's like, "This must be Mel's leaving scene," and just watching it intently and gushing over all the guest stars that J&T was able to have that year. And one of the other couches had Sarah Sutton and Peter Davison and Janet Fielding watching as well. It was just brilliant. And the other was with Sylvester and both Bonnie and Sophie, and you get Sophie's impressions on all the episodes that came before her, which is really fun. And yeah, it was just an exciting watch, and I'm still not through everything. And then I think there's something like 4,000 pages of PDF materials as well. So, but it definitely consumed last weekend. So
yeah. Oh, bless Colin for watching. I mean, I can understand why he wouldn't have wanted to watch it, obviously, at the time, because it was so painful for him. But also, I always just want to give Colin Baker a hug.
There's a season-long documentary that I think captures some of the pain that he felt, where they started off and they spend a good 5 or 10 minutes discussing how he was fired from the program, and an appearance he, I think, was, I don't know if he was on BBC Breakfast or some show at the time, where viewers were talking about how much they enjoyed the Trial of the Time Lord season, and they were happy to have him back, and he had just been informed like earlier that week that he was being fired, and it hadn't been made public yet, so they're like, you can just watch all of that kind of play out over his face, and it's just a really powerful moment in that documentary.
Yeah. Oh, poor Cullen. he's such a lovely guy. Dear listener, if ever you have a chance to speak to Colin, I'm sure that you will not be disappointed. I've only had a couple of chats with him over the years, and they've always just been delightful.
Yeah, he was out at Council Room in 2015 in Minneapolis, and that was a really fun weekend because it was a small, probably around 500 or so attendees, so it was a small experience where you could go up and interact with him a lot more, which was a lot of fun. Yeah. He also seems to have been cast, or he announced he's doing something recently where he's getting back into acting again.
Good.
I think I don't know if it's a spot on Emmerdale or something.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Oh, I'm glad. I'm delighted. Yeah, he doesn't live particularly close to where they film Emmerdale, because I always kind of get the feeling that he doesn't stray too far away from kind of like Wickham these days. But yeah. Oh, cool. Good on him. Speaking of Colin Baker, reminded me that my trip to kind of like Culloden and Inverness also took me to Loch Ness and the Borad and H.G. Wells.
As well as the Zygon.
So it's the Scarrison, yes. Who may get mentioned later.
Yeah, because this month we've read the Missy Chronicles, which features 6 short stories. So I think we'll be getting out our TARDIS timer. Mm-hmm. And this was released in February of 2018 in both hardcover and ebook.
Yeah. And
was later republished a year later in paperback. And there is no audiobook version at this time. There's a quote on the back cover that says, "I've had adventures too. My whole life doesn't revolve around you, which is, I think, taken from The Lie of the Land.
Yeah, but also, it sums her up, doesn't it? It sums up Missy.
She's such a interesting take on the Master, and
such a memorable take as well. And
incredible. And you've seen her play the same character now in several other series, including Doom Patrol and The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yes. Yeah. I've not seen Doom Patrol. It's not on something that I've got access to, but I must say I am slightly tempted. Maybe over Christmas, I might just buy myself a subscription to Stars, which I think is what's streaming it over here, and just watch Doom Patrol.
I've heard it's one of the better DC series that are currently airing. So
yes, yeah, cool. All right, well, shall we get started?
Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer here. Mm-hmm. And our first story is called Dismemberment.
Yeah.
And it's written by James Goss,
who we've read before. And I'm suddenly blanking on what we've read about him. It was that 10th Doctor one. 12 Doctor. Oh gosh, 12
The
Doctor.
Blood Cell. And,
yes, the Blood Cell. Yes.
He's also adapted City of Death, The Pirate Planet, and The Cricket Men.
Yes.
And written several Doctor Who and Torchwood novels, and of course was the mastermind behind Time Lord Victorious.
Yes, a very accomplished Doctor Who writer. Yeah, so this little short story, Dismemberment, revolves around the Scoundrels Club, which is a centuries-old members club in London, of which I think there are probably several.
We've got the Order of St. John the Beheaded. We've got the Hellfire Club.
Yeah.
Although Lytton happens to be a member of the Scoundrels Club, so...
Yes, it's frequented by only the very worst people that the UK has produced. I think it's probably got quite a membership. And there's a chair that the Master normally sits in shortly after regeneration. And then Missy appears, because these guys, as well as being evil, are also very sexist. And so they physically chuck her out.
Yeah, and there's a line where Missy says, "Look at me, you can see who I am. This is my chair. I've sat in it wearing several different bodies, and once as a snake without a murmur. Don't be boring." The dialogue in this story in particular I thought was really on point and very sharp.
Oh, yeah.
There's a copy of the Magna Carta from the King's Demons hanging on the wall in this establishment as well. So then, Missy gets chucked out and she goes about getting her revenge on all of the different people in the story, either murdering or humiliating them, or both.
Yes.
In several different ways. There are certain members who disrespected her that, she's has it out for, and she turns one into like a living human rug.
Yes.
And the rest of the members of the Scoundrels Club she sells into slavery, taking them back in time to a plantation.
Yes.
And then we get a kind of a side story about how Missy gets her name from one of the slaves she frees and takes to the future, called Saffron.
Yeah.
Who ends up poisoning all of the members with like this paralysis drug.
Yeah.
Which allows her to take them back in time to sell them into slavery.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure what I thought about that subplot.
Nor did I.
It puts like an interesting twist on some of the already problematic things with using the name Master in general, but I don't know.
Yeah, I suspect nowadays we might not necessarily have that subplot. I mean, we're speaking about something that was published in 2018, but it just feels very on the nose, possibly. I don't know. It's just, yeah. One thing I would say is, as well, there's a little bit about Garden Bridge that one of the members of the club is unveiling, like Garden Bridge across the Thames, in this grand opening ceremony that Missy ends up causing chaos at. The Garden Bridge is being used, I think, as a means of some sort of fraud or something. So made me think of a former mayor of London who was also promoting a garden bridge across the Thames. It was a big favourite of his. Don't know what happened to him.
Yeah. I wonder.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There was also, so there's one of the characters is named as the Surgeon, and it's interesting that Missy doesn't address any of them by their proper names until she actually chooses her own name, or Saffron starts calling her Missy.
Yes.
It's Dr. Scarosa, and I guess he was the founder of 3W, which is the Institute from Darkwater and Death in Heaven.
Ah, okay.
So I feel like the ending here works on two different levels. So if you haven't seen the TV episode for some reason, but you're reading the story randomly, because he's kind of paralyzed in this chair and she's rocking him back and forth in front of the hearth in the fire, and you think that, oh, she's gonna kill him and like burn him alive, because she asks him like, what do you know about cremation? But if you see the TV episode, well, she kills him anyway, but he first founds the 3W Institute.
I'd forgotten about that. Yeah. And that's one of the good things about this collection, I think, is that we do see things throughout Missy's tenure. And so I know that there are some things that if I'd rewatched her stories recently, I would have definitely picked up on. But also, those things are like, oh, yeah, I think that ties into so-and-so.
And I think they're all presented chronologically, too, or roughly.
Yes, they are.
I mean, this is right after her regeneration.
Yeah.
Presumably it was John Sim regenerating into her, but it's never ever said.
It's never been established.
It's never been established, so we don't know for sure. So the book doesn't make any, or the story doesn't make any claims in that direction.
No, I like the notion that Sacha Dhawan comes between them.
That would,
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, so I did enjoy this. Apart from, I think I could have possibly done without the Civil War bits, but yeah.
It doesn't feel like this story has a whole lot of deeper meaning. I mean, there's a lot of satisfying revenge scenarios set up where she's tying people to the train tracks and stuff. But there's justice being dealt out, but there's potentially a lot of innocents getting caught up in the crossfire here. So
yes. There's a high body count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, that title too, Dismemberment. I mean, that's just a wonderful play on, what she's doing to the membership of this club.
Yeah.
So.
Or just one thing, there was a lovely little quote where it says, "You may think I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have a time machine and absolutely zero morals. Well, plus, I'm exceptionally spiteful." That's a lovely twist on there's a quote attributed to Queen Elizabeth I, which is, "You may think I have the body of a weak and feeble woman," or at least words to that effect. So, and we also, there's lovely little throwaway things, like there's a graffiti taxidermist who rocks up called Tanksy.
Oh, yeah.
This is a kind of story as a graffiti taxidermist.
Yeah, this is, I think, one of my favorites in the... It's a strong one to start off the collection with.
Yes, and also as well, she says, "I like morally compromised people, but I love good cooking." And there's the topics that that they discuss at one point at a banquet, club members. And it says, because they're having this 13-course banquet, it says it may seem like a lot, but they ensured that it flew by with topics such as, "What's funny about foreigners? There's nothing wrong with the poor that a good holiday wouldn't sort out. Why tax avoidance is good for the economy," and so on.
Oh. Yeah, the worst of the worst in the Scoundrels Club.
Yes. James Goss is angry as hell. So, I must say, I dread to think what he's going to write next. Because that was 2018.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Anyway, shall we move on to our next story? Yes.
Cool, we had 20 seconds left there.
Cool.
All right, so I'll hit start on the timer. And our next story is Lords and Masters by Cavan Scott.
Yes. Who, as I've said before on this program, he's incredibly tall. He's very nice.
And incredibly prolific.
Yes, as well. Yes.
He's written for Star Wars, Star Trek, Pacific Rim, Vikings, Doctor Who, all sorts of different series. And I think he's written some of the High Republic, the new Star Wars series set in a very interesting time period for the Jedi.
Yes, I think he has. Yes.
And he also was the writer for Titan Comics' ongoing adventures with the Ninth Doctor.
Yeah, and he's very friendly. If ever you're at a convention, just have a chat with him. Especially if you have any aspirations about writing, just have a chat. He's such a lovely guy.
And I think we've reviewed him before. He wrote The Shining Man, I think.
Yes, it was. It was another 12th Doctor era kind of thing. I remember greatly enjoying that. Yeah, so in the story, we see Missy having an adventure with some Scarrison. And then her TARDIS is taken over by a time lady called Yayani, who reminded me very much of the Roof Doctor's controller.
Oh, from Gaz. From
Flight of Jadoon, or Fugitive of Jadoon. Yeah,
I'm trying to think of the name of the organization, because it isn't the CIA, it's something else. The Division, I think.
Yes, and the General suddenly beams into their TARDIS, into Missy's TARDIS.
And this is the General in his kind of elderly male form, so it's set prior to the events of Heaven Sent.
Yeah. Missy's being sent on a mission to intervene in some temporal experiments. They head off to kind of this research complex.
Yeah, I think it's like a space station where there's time experiments going on, and
yes,
it turns out that there's a creature that's being kept in a device, and it's something that is going to spawn different echoes of itself or start tearing apart the timeline. So it's a creature that Rassilon wants to have eradicated. Yep. So that's why Missy was chosen for this mission, because the Doctor would have balked at that request. to kill this creature. They manage to sneak aboard the station on Missy's TARDIS, and Yeani's very much like keeping her at gunpoint, and there's this tension between the two of them, where Missy thinking about all the different ways she can kill her. Just from, I think, her scent or from her and a combination of her accent, it felt very Sherlock Holmes to me, where she's instantly able to tell, okay, Yeani's between 100 and 200 years old. She's on her first regeneration. Here's which Time Lord Academy they attended. All this sort of stuff where you just really see like Missy firing on all cylinders here.
She also realizes that Yeani has something called abridgment syndrome, which means that she can't regenerate. Which I think is that's quite a cool concept. I think a lot of Time Lords have that, and we're not told about it.
And here it was artificially induced because we later, first they cause havoc with like a door alarm, and all these guards come out, and they manage to position the commander of the guards in front of a blast door, and then Missy just severs his hand and then starts using that to keeps it in her purse, and she's using it to access all of like the handprints as they're making their way through the station. My God, I mean, that was just pure Missy. You talk about like spooky, crazy Halloween sort of horror stuff going on, and we eventually get kind of a confession from Yeani that, she tried to assassinate the Lord President Rassilon due to her Time Lord house, which is called Stillhaven. So in the end of time, the two figures behind Rassilon, one is supposedly the Doctor's mother. Yeah. Or, after the latest Chibnall revelations, maybe that's Teteyun. Who knows? But the other person, the male figure behind Rassilon, is explained as this is the Patriarch of Stillhaven. So Yeani's father or loom bearer, whatever, depending on your continuity of how the Gallifreyans reproduce. Yeah. And she tries to assassinate Rassilon, and that's where she has like implants on her hearts that'll explode. So it's kind of very much like a Suicide Squad sort of scenario she finds herself in. And Missy's kind of chuckles, and because she's like, "Oh, you tried to assassinate Rassilon and failed? Well, Cavan Scott also takes a moment to explain the regeneration from Timothy Dalton into Donald Sumter with the Master forcing white point stars down Rassilon's throat until he chokes to death on them. And that's what caused a very painful regeneration. So Missy's like, I've succeeded where you failed. So,
yes. Yeah, so Missy uses her TCE, doesn't she?
Which is disguised as a hairpin.
Yes.
I don't think there was ever... Sacha Dhawan is the first modern master to have used a TCE
yes, I think
on the
so.
show. But yeah, here Missy has one built into her hairpin, and she ends up shrinking and sending back Yeani to the general.
Yes.
And also ejects her Eye of Harmony and doesn't kill the time creature that is generating that energy. She uses that as an alternate form of power for her TARDIS. So now the CIA or the division can't interfere and take her TARDIS. She's truly free at the end of this.
Yeah, yeah. Also, as well, we find out that she used to have a pet Scarrison called Flipper.
Which she later barbecued and ate after feeding several enemies to it. Yeah. It was, this one was up there too in terms of like just stinging barbs and quips from Missy. Like Cavan Scott just kept him coming.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed this one. It was a little more, plot heavy, but so many little treats in the details, like Missy's chameleon circuit when the TARDIS materializes. It's a vending machine, but all the food within it is at least 3 decades out of date. And Missy like pats her TARDIS and she's like, good girl. Just little moments like that.
Yeah, I don't think I enjoyed this one quite as much. But I mean, I just think, yeah, and I couldn't quite put my finger on why. But I mean, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly, we have started well, because like some compilations, we wouldn't have had a 2 out of 2 strike rate so far.
We're 2 for 6 right so far.
Yes, yeah.
And I think Cavan Scott does a great job of just introducing little asides. Like he mentions Missy blows up the war room from the 50th anniversary special and then escapes from Gomer's asylum. And I'm like, well, what's that?
Yes!
I want an audio adventure set during hearing that or something.
Yeah. Well, given all the Big Finish Missy stuff, I think there's definitely potential. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Series 3 just came out, Missy and the Monk. Oh, and there's our evil version of the TARDIS. Which doesn't respond to my shut up button here. Okay, there we go.
Marvelous.
Missy.
Missy.
So now, let's move on to our third story in the collection.
Yes.
Which is titled Teddy Sparkles Must Die.
And who could have written this? Who else but Paul Mars?
Yes, Paul Mars, who has written numerous novels and short stories for Doctor Who, created Iris Wildtime.
Yes.
Was responsible for some fantastic fun adventures, very whimsical for the most part, I think.
Yeah. And we've done Paul Mars before as well. And he said nice things about us. So,
yeah.
Yes.
So this story starts off in 1925, where Peter, Esme, and Jack, so 3 children, have a new governess who's moving in to raise them, essentially, and kind of like a Mary Poppins style.
You think?
Which, if you've heard Missy Series 1, there's a very similar story from Big Finish called A Spoonful of Mayhem. But in that story, Missy becomes governess to 2 children, not 3,
right,
under similar mysterious circumstances where their former teacher is mysteriously killed or sent off. And although that one is set around the time of the Crystal Palace exhibition, so about 75 years earlier than what this one is set.
Yeah, but I can imagine Missy did this multiple times. So that's fine.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so the kids are finding the departure of Missy's predecessor so odd that they decide to start confiding in Teddy Sparkles, their talking teddy bear.
Who also showed up when Missy started raising them.
Yes.
Eventually it's learned that Teddy Sparkles can grant wishes. So you have a situation where they ask for small things at first, and of course it grows and grows. The granting of the wishes power reminds me a little bit of the wish granting device that we had in the Stone Rose.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Or the genie in Oh No It Isn't.
Yeah, it also feels very kind of like 1920s children's literature kind of thing as well. I think there's a similar thing in Five Children and It. But anyway, yeah, it is an unsurprising kind of thing, but it's magical.
Or the phoenix in the carpet, that sort of...
Yeah, that kind of thing. So Teddy, on one of their wish grantings, sort of like takes them to meet the Moon Men using his magic powers, and things kind of go... Yeah, there's a bit of a misunderstanding of the Moon Men, who kind of think that like war has been declared. And Missy then just floats down to the lunar surface using her umbrella.
And then disintegrates all the Moonmen with her compact. With her... it's just, yeah. It's like, it's kind of a sequence of like different Mary Poppins-esque adventures. And except they all end horribly wrong.
Yes. I mean, if you enjoyed what we've said so far, and if you're enjoying what we're talking about this story so far, just go ahead and get it, because we are going to spoil a few bits of this, but we'll hold some stuff back as well, I'm sure. But oh gosh, this is such fun. But yeah, so Missy agrees to leave if the kids wish for sensible things like becoming chair of NATO or head of MI5 or CEO of a chemical company. And she basically bullies Teddy Sparkles into manipulating the timelines, so that in the 1960s the kids are all in their 40s but in various seats of power.
Yep. And they kind of meet together, and it's like post-war 1962 Christmas.
Yes.
And they meet at the father's house, who's becoming senile, which there was a kind of a creepy scene where his dialogue mirrored that of like the youngest child in 1925.
Yes. Yeah, because the youngest kid, he only communicates by using the word boop. Which is quite funny. But then when the father is using it, it's like, oh gosh, yeah.
So we have that to look forward to then, Paul. Thanks for the reminder.
Yes. Senility. Oh well. Yeah. So Esme finds Teddy Sparkles in the attic upstairs, and Teddy, who's he's a bit dusty now, but he realizes that although he's granted the kids' wishes, none of the children are happy. And Missy charges into the attic, demanding to take over the world. And so what does Teddy do? He reverses time, and Peter, Jack and Esme find themselves trapped in the bodies of their younger selves in the 1920s. So, and I think here is where we have our reading.
It is, yeah. And this is a very special treat today. We have
Yes.
a dramatic reading brought to you by Alia E. Tori, a.k.a. the Ouija Doctor on Twitter. And we'll be sure to link to Alia's YouTube channel and Twitter page in the show description, too. She's a BAFTA-nominated artist and is currently working on Dreams of Fire by the Council of Geeks and Nathaniel Wayne. All right, folks, buckle your seatbelts in because we're going to go for a ride here.
Are you sitting comfortably, children? Then Missy will tell you the end of this strange story, and how it came to be that poor dear Teddy Sparkles simply had to die. There was just no other way, you see, because in reimagining the past the way he had and taking us all back there, he had tangled everything up. Oh, silly old Teddy Sparkles had conjured up a 1925 that was infused not just with his memories, but also with the stories he had heard the governess read to the children every night. He had absorbed her tales of dragons and phoenixes and walking scarecrows, and so now London and the whole world was plagued with these peculiar beings. Gorgons and harpies, angels and centaurs. Oh, they were everywhere and taking over this reality. Teddy Sparkles, what have you done? Cried Esme as the dragons came swarming in the skies over Queen's Square, roasting the rooftops with emerald flames. I've done it all wrong, howled that idiot bear. I've mixed up plain reality with awful whimsy, and now there's chaos everywhere. Oh, and children, it was quite true. There were savage talking tigers bounding into Buckingham Palace and eating up members of the royal family. There were elephants with elephant guns and hot air balloons taking pot shots at people far below. It was as if these creatures of the imagination were seizing their chance to take revenge upon the humdrum world. And there was I, Missy, forced to become the heroine of the hour, just as I often am in moments like this. Those children begged me. Oh, Missy, you're so brave and beautiful. Only you can save the planet. I listened to their flattery, and I watched the hordes of strange creatures wreaking havoc on 1925. I sat with the children having tea at the British Museum one glorious afternoon, and all the mummies had come to life and were dancing a conga out of the section devoted to ancient Egypt. The cafe was a very exciting place to be because as we sipped our tea, we could also see dinosaur skeletons stretching and heaving themselves into life and doing battle with statues of gods from long ago. It was quite exciting, but also very, very noisy. No one can rule over this soggy mess, I shrugged. I suppose I will just have to help mankind. And to that end, children, I'm afraid Teddy Sparkles will have to die.
So thank you so much, Alia, for reading that.
That's amazing.
Fantastic. Big Finish, if you're listening, do get in touch, as she'd be an excellent addition to your troupe of voice actors.
Yes. Oh, completely. Yes. Yes. Whenever Michelle Gomez decides that she wants to do other things, then here you go.
Thanks again, Alia.
Yeah.
So, as we've heard there, Missy decides that in order for all of the timelines to be set right, Teddy Sparkles, unfortunately, really has to die.
Yeah, so Teddy decides to put the world back to how it was, even though doing so is going to wipe him out of existence. And the children wake up to find a London back to normal, but with one key difference. Missy is the star of a series of children's stories. So whenever she tries to do any evil, she gets descended upon by fans to the extent that she can't do what she wants to.
Yeah, she can no longer go about her business under like a cloak of anonymity. She's like, so she can't do the governess routine anymore after this.
No. And so the children live long and happy lives, and Esme becomes a granny. And one Christmas, her granddaughter receives a teddy bear, a glittering one. In fact, Esme wonders whether it's Teddy Sparkles. This is fantastic.
Yeah,
This is just brilliant. Yeah, we've obviously talked about the plot, but there are just this is just amazing. Yeah, I just adore this. I'm sorry, my words are failing me. This is just hilarious and hilarious, magical, thought provoking, and yeah.
And the children's memories kind of fade,
Yes.
as they soon sort of forget, but you do have that kind of weird overlap where they're like remembering things and like wondering about like, oh, they have to live through World War II again and all of that.
Yeah. There's also a slight implication that Teddy Sparkles might come from the same planet as Panda.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Is it Ursino 6? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And that also makes me wonder, does that mean that Panda also has reality shaping powers, or are those learned traits, or do these you have to go to like the teddy bear equivalent of Time Lord Academy to learn those?
I don't know.
I really enjoyed this one a lot.
Yeah.
Stylistically, the dialogue is kind of in that, like you were saying, it feels like it was written, like a J.M. Barrie sort of book.
Yeah.
Where the dialogue is a little on the kind of hyper posh side, that over the top sweetness.
Yeah.
It's not the more naturalistic dialogue we've had, in earlier stories. But I mean, I can see why Paul went with that approach, right? Because it adds just that fairy tale quality to the where proceeding.
But it also underlines the mayhem as well that ensues, and also there's this wonderful bit where the characters are sort of saying, "Why is Missy narrating?" I thought this.
And
Anyway.
Teddy's last words were, "You are the quintessence of wickedness, Missy. You really are." Missy replied, "He always knew just the right thing to say, that Teddy Sparkles." Yeah, this one it was great.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, so that was the TARDIS timer. So next we move on to...
The Liar, the Glitch, and the War Zone by Peter Angheildes. You see what he did there?
And Peter Angheildes has written several titles for BBC Books and BBC Audio and Big Finish.
Yep. Interviewed me once at IBM.
Oh, yep. We've discussed him a few times, although I don't think we've actually read a full novel from him, right?
No.
And his 2 short stories we've read by him, both of them involve a potential future Doctor, which I thought was kind of interesting. So we've never actually read anything by him with like a current Doctor.
Yeah.
So this one jumps around in time a little bit, and you have some sections labeled now or yesterday or later that evening or the 14th century.
Yes.
There's quite a bit of time travel involved.
Yes.
And it's set in Venice. And this one's a little more plot heavy than some of the others.
Yeah.
So Missy's wandering around Venice trying to repair her TARDIS, which had collided with a Griffin ship. And the Griffin are like...
Griffins.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking like thralls or...
Yeah, they're kind of like time travel-y bird type things, aren't they?
So she had a collision with one of those ships, and she gets handed a flyer about some artifacts at a museum that have been recently dug up from the 14th century.
Yeah.
Talking about like fun chameleon circuit choices. Here Missy's hiding out in a cathedral or a basilica, and her TARDIS is disguised as a confession booth, which is really fun.
Yes.
There's like a time rift that opens up near within the basilica due to some like spillage from her ship, right? And it opens a rift into 14th century Venice.
Yes. Having been to Venice, this feels quite plausible.
People randomly wandering in from different times.
Yes, yeah. People in Plague Doctor outfits. Yeah, it's quite normal. And there's also these two pickpocketing children wandering around.
Oh, yeah.
Antonia and Mario, who become slightly integral to proceedings.
Because they pickpocket her dematerialization circuit.
Yeah.
And then Mario wanders through the rift and finds himself back in 14th century Venice.
Yeah.
And Missy finds that she can incrementally power her TARDIS by just dropping things into the rift randomly, including nuns that are wandering around the place. And then she decides, hey, I can really power my ship if I destroy the dam, the gates holding back the waters from flooding Venice, and use that volume of things flowing through the rift to then fully power her ship.
Yeah.
There's a great turn of phrase in here where the line is, but a relentless rush of water coursing unchecked through the church and into the rift would certainly float her boat.
So that reactivates her TARDIS, and so she's able to time ram her own TARDIS before the Griffon crash into it. So it doesn't hit. Venice doesn't get flooded, so history is kind of rewritten. However, during all of this, Mario, who fell back into the 14th century, he dies of the plague. I'm sorry to remind listeners of the plague, but Mario dies of the plague, and he's still dead of the plague, despite time being rewritten.
And Antonia's like, what happened to... I don't know if Mario's her brother, or he might be, but she's
I assumed a boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not made super clear, is it?
I don't think it's ever stated.
No,
yeah, I thought they were on the younger side too, so I'm wondering if maybe they were, or just like two in like a gang or something. But he catches the plague and dies really quickly, which I thought it was spread through food or through rats. Him catching it right away and then suddenly being on his deathbed seems a little weird, but
we don't know exactly how far back he fell in time.
True. Yeah, the rift could be a little...
Yeah, I'm not sure the rift is precise.
Yeah. And there's also an attack squad of Griffin soldiers that are flying around hunting her too. And at one point she encounters a masked plague doctor who's the curator of the museum.
Yes.
And that was kind of an interesting encounter.
Well, it is, because also the curator is then revealed to be a doctor who has since moved on, a female doctor. Who could that be, do you think?
Well, the TARDIS wiki says it marks the first official appearance of the 13th Doctor.
I agree with it.
But I don't know that it is the 13th Doctor necessarily, though.
Oh.
Because the story doesn't specify it, does it?
The story doesn't specify, but I think that's what
I think that's the intention.
Yeah, that's the intention.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there may have been some kind of licensing rules or something that it's there as close as you can be. And the dialogue feels a little bit... She doesn't talk about her fam or anything, but she's certainly speaking in modern British, vaguely northern sort of terms. So yeah, I think it's the 13th. I think it's Jodie.
And if it is, that means it has the 13th Doctor's appearance in 12 Angels Weeping beat by about 8 months then.
Yeah.
If that's the case. Yeah, apart from the accent, there are no obvious tells. There's no spare set of yellow bracers hanging up on the wall or anything. No.
But I imagine that the Doctor would also be possibly a bit... I don't know. You don't know quite when the timeline's going to be, but it might be something that maybe it's a stage and timeline we have yet to see. Who knows what the Doctor's status quo is going to be before the BBC Centenary regeneration special. There's a lovely little quote about Missy about there's a Griffon that's sort of in real pain at one point, and Missy says, "That's why I never let my daughter have pets. Once they outgrow the house, you just have to put them down." What's going on? The Chronoids? What's going on? What do I think of this one? I think I enjoyed this, but this is, for me, I think was possibly the weaker one of... I found it a little bit confusing at times. Yeah, it was fun. Missy's caption. I think it's a mark of the strength of this compilation that this for me was the least successful story. Yeah,
that's a good way to put it, and I would agree as well. Of the 6 stories, if I had to, pick a favorite or least favorite, I think this one would probably be my least favorite of the collection. But that said, it was still really enjoyable, and that I think speaks to the quality of the stories in this compilation.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have 30 seconds to spare, so go ahead and restart the timer here. And this brings us to our next story.
Girl Power by Jacqueline Rayner. And Jacqueline Rayner, we've done several times. She wrote The Stone Rose,
which in her author blurb in the story, it's quoted as, it says, "The Stone Rose is the highest-selling Doctor Who novel of all time," which I wasn't aware of, but that makes sense, and it tracks to our most downloaded episode as well.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
Jacqueline, we most recently discussed her, I think, last month when we talked about how she had adapted all of the Benny audios for that first season, bar one, written a ton for Big Finish. Very prolific, I'd say.
Yes. So this story it's written in a series of emails and letters and notes. It's probably the reason why this compilation has not been done for audio. Because I think this might be a bit hard to do an audio version of. Missy she's being kept in the vault by the Doctor and Nardole at St. Luke's University, and she's making requests for items to be delivered, such as sugar mice and tigers.
And I think it's fair to say that this is set prior to the pilot, because there's no mention of Bill, and it seems to be very early days for the Doctor and Nardole in terms of these are Missy's special requests coming through now that she's in the vault.
Yeah. So the Doctor's inclined to see what Missy might be up to, whilst Nardole is less keen. Though it might be because Nardole's having to deal with Missy direct.
Yeah, he's the one who has to go in there.
Yes, and that the university campus is kind of having to deal with the consequences of an intergalactic Amazon equivalent delivering killer robot chickens.
Called Andromeda.
Yes.
Instead of Amazon.
Whilst that's going on, Missy is building a helmic regulator, which she's using to set up time portals. Because having read books on famous women of Earth history, Missy is sending letters and mobile phones to Marie Antoinette, Boudica, and others to invite them to join Madam, which is Missy's army for the demotion of all men.
And the Doctor's giving her free rein here to do this. He's like, well, let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Missy then sets up a group chat with Lucretia Borgia, Agatha Christie, and all of Henry VIII's wives.
Did you catch who one of the history books is written by?
No.
A Dr. E. Smythe. So Evelyn Smythe. So
yes.
Nice little Big Finish tie in there.
Yeah. There's also as well Missy sets up a Spacebook status or a Spacebook account. Profile, and on her timeline of kind of like significant life events, she has born, died, took over some bloke's body, died, became a human, stopped being a human, died, became a woman, ruled.
I mean, this very much is like a found footage style thing where it's, little excerpts. So we've got the Andromeda Order receipts. We've got the correspondence between the Doctor and Nardole.
Yes.
We've also got little clips from St. Luke's Gazette, the school newspaper, sprinkled in.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun way to tell a story.
Yes. So in the group chat, someone called Cersei suddenly appears and starts showing Missy's true nature to everybody in the group. And so this kind of causes Agatha Christie and Jane Austen to leave, and various others. And Cersei is revealed to be the Doctor, and the Doctor then explains that Missy's plan was to stop James I becoming king. Why? Because James I set up the predecessor of St. Luke's, and without him there would be no vault, and so Missy would be free. Then Missy kind of like does a counter-argument that she was trying to help women, which excites the Doctor, as it's a sign that she might possibly be mellowing. And this she denies. And then we learn what her next plan is, which is to try to cause a revolt amongst the rat population of Earth.
And that kind of plays on, there's correspondence with the Andromeda Company where they're trying to figure out, okay, what life forms on Earth are sentient that it's okay to deliver packages to.
Yes.
And they start, so we can't deliver to plants, and okay, we can't deliver to fungus, and okay, animal species. And then it's kind of an extension of that, right, where Missy tries to ask the Doctor, okay, what other intelligent species are there on the planet? And she wants to stay away from anything in the ocean because she fell out with the sea devils. So dolphins are out too.
I adored this. Absolutely adored this. It's hard to choose between this and the Paul Mars story as to my favourite, though I think it might possibly be this.
My favourite was the Cavan Scott one, but I also gave his book a 10 as well. So I don't know what it is. I really enjoy his writing style. But Yeah, this one was up there for me too, although I did find the ending just to be a little silly. Like, Missy's not actually contacting rats and expecting to communicate with them, is she? It's just, I don't know.
No, but I think she's doing it almost as an act of petulance. Maybe, well, I don't know if it's the right word for it, but it's a kind of like a,
Like a so there to the,
the
doctor.
Yeah. And also, you're saying that this is probably set before Bill's time. This could be set over a whole series of stories, just rumbling on in the background.
Yeah, I mean, because he was teaching there for, 60 years or so before?
Yeah.
So...
But this could be set throughout that season, possibly.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. So, I just ate this up with a spoon. This is just brilliant.
And I thought the change in format came at the right time in the book, too, where, it felt like it changed it up a little bit. And, it's like, it's not just another short story. There's all these excerpts that you have to kind of piece together to figure out what's going on. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Right, I'll reset the timer.
Yes!
And that brings us to our final story in the collection, which is Elite in Underland.
Yeah, and it's by Richard Dinnick. We've not done Richard's work before, but he's written for things like Thunderbirds Are Go and Moshi Monsters. He's also done some Doctor Who stuff with, I think, Myths and Legends. He's definitely no stranger to the BBC. And he's also, I think he's written the 12th Doctor line of comics.
His bio in the book says, he's a writer for the BBC, ITV, and Disney. And it says that he's written books and short stories for Doctor Who, Sherlock Holmes, and Stargate. I've never really gotten into Stargate, so I can't say I know much about that. I'm a big Farscape fan, but yeah,
okay.
I never got into Stargate. So and this is set during the events of World Enough in Time and The Doctor Falls.
Yeah.
So on that spaceship, and I don't know if we ever get a name of that ship.
I don't think we do.
Yeah,
no.
It's getting pulled into a black hole.
Yeah, it's the Mondasian colony ship. It doesn't have I don't think there's a name beyond that.
Yeah, and the different floors are operating at different time periods.
Yes. And so we're seeing the events primarily from the point of view of Elite, who apparently appears in the TV episode, but I don't remember her. But it's been a little while since I've seen it. And so she's a young girl living in the solar farm community. And she overhears the Master talking about a plan to go to floor 508 to try to stop what Elite thinks of as the Scarecrows, which is like the Cybermen.
And it's been a while since I've seen this episode as well, and I'm wondering if the Cybermen were ever referred to as scarecrows in it. But it totally makes sense from the point of view in the story, and John Sims' Master even points this out, where he says, like, they don't know the word Cybermen yet because they're just coming into being here, on this ship.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that she'd refer to them as scarecrows, because that's what some of the villagers dress them up as after they kill them, so...
Yeah, and the Master and Missy discover Elite, and they let her tag along as they think that she's usefully small. They find themselves being followed by a Cyberman that the Master's able to capture and reprogram, and he reprograms it so that it doesn't recognise two-hearted creatures as being human. And so therefore it's not going to try to kill them. And so we'll do the bidding of the Gallifreyans. And Missy calls this Cyberman Top Knot. So for reasons.
And there's a little aside that the Missy and Master have talking about their love of children's television. So they cover the Clangers and Teletubbies and Mary Poppins and some other stuff.
Yes, they're talking about Frozen, and because apparently, like, Missy and the Doctor watched Frozen together, and the Master sort of says, he says, "I can't believe you watched Frozen with the Doctor." Missy looked at him, a twinkle in her eye. "Let it go," she said.
Yeah, there's some stronger indications of compassion and empathy and even humor just being demonstrated from Missy here, where you can feel like her time in the vault has paid off, and she's gone through some character development.
Yes, it really does come through. And so they managed to kind of like catch a lift down to floor 508, which is another kind of like farm setup, where they're being hunted by 6 Cybermen, including an 80s style cyber leader. Who I think says excellent. Doesn't he say excellent at some point?
Yeah, it's like David Banks randomly shows up.
Yeah, it is very much David Banks Cyberly there. But they're now specifically looking for two-hearted creatures because they realise that their program has been slightly interfered with. And the Cybermen are trying to kind of like send them down to where the operating theatres are. Though Missy uses her sonic umbrella to kind of like repel the Cybermen. And she and Elite manage to escape down some corridors, and the cyber leader orders for cybermats to be sent after them. And they realise that they're being pursued by Cybermen looking for two-hearted creatures. Missy captures some mice and puts them in cages around her and Elite so that Cybermen would see them as having more than two hearts, which is really quite clever. I'm not sure how that would work, though, but it's one of these things you momentarily think, oh, it's clever, and then you think, yeah, I don't know how sophisticated this technology is. But yeah, and Missy tells Elite that the Cybermen will use the cyber mats to attack Elite's people. But also, like the Masters set up some kind of fail-safe system on the operating theatre floor, which Missy manages to use because she forces the cyber mats back down to the operating theatre and it then deactivates the cyber mats, preventing them from attacking. And there's a few bits I'm not quite sure how this all works, but it's an enjoyable ride. It's like a typical Cyberman story. The more you think about it, the more you think, I'm not sure what's going on. But
and this one to me, it felt more like an interlude where at the end of the story, I mean, yes, she thwarts a plan.
Yes.
The Cybermen had to use Cybermets as kind of their floor-by-floor invasion. But this one didn't feel quite as satisfying to me in terms of a standalone story to end the collection on. We do get where Missy gets the idea to kill the Master.
Yeah.
At the end here in a little bit of a twist. But yeah, I almost felt like the collection needed maybe like a seventh story to round things out where she's just about to regenerate or something, because we don't have that retrospective, looking back on her life as a whole and almost wondering, like, am I a good woman? Similar to, how Capaldi, asks that question of himself, that mirror element between the two.
Yeah, I guess possibly they might have not been able to do that by the production office. Maybe because they wouldn't have wanted to interfere with any plans that Chibnall might have had for using Missy, and because also, whilst maybe Missy does die at the end of the Doctor Falls, I think there could still be an argument. Missy could still reappear and go, "Ha surprise!" Yeah, I can see why they didn't, but it is a bit of an odd story because it being in the middle of a TV story, and also as well, I mean, the narrative does address the fact that Missy's plan could be used to stop the Cybermen as a whole. But she says, "Oh, don't tell the Doctor." I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, I don't know. I just wish that it was something that maybe the way of defeating the Cybermats could have been just used for the Cybermats alone. But I mean, certainly Missy's captured well. The Master's captured well here as well.
As is Nardole. I mean, his character.
Yes. Yeah, Nardole makes a cameo appearance. But yeah.
And there was a lot of humor in that little section where he appears too.
Yeah.
There's a moment where the three of them, the Master, Missy, and Elite, they all put on rubber boots. And the Master doesn't want to. And Missy's like, come on, we always dress for the occasion. And there's the timer.
Yeah.
But that section I thought was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And a kind of a sad ending for Elite, unless you read Paul Cornell's Twice Upon a Time novelization, where it's revealed that Nardole succeeds in helping defend the floors and the colony ship from the Cybermen, and it's not as hopeless as it seems at the end there.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of our collection.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on...
I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. I think this is up there with one of my... I think this is my favourite non-Dave Rudden compilation. I think.
Yeah, all the stories were solid, yeah.
Yeah. The stories here that I think are possibly the least effective would be stellar ones in some other compilations that we've read. So, yeah, it's just amazing, this one. Just the sheer quality, and also it helps that I love Missy. So,
you're buying what they're selling.
Yeah.
I think it helps too that the stories are all kind of presented chronologically too, at least, or at least the bookends are, and I think that helps the flow of it as well.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the quality of the writing is such that if this was a series of stories about, say, Melanie Bush, I think I would still be... I would still be kind of like going, oh, actually, I really enjoyed this, despite the fact I don't really like Mel. So I think if you don't Yeah, I think if you absolutely hate Missy, then there's no point in reading this. But I mean, if you're kind of like, yeah, then I think you'll still have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still some good stuff.
Which of the stories would you say is your favorite and least favorite?
My favorite is Girl Power, and least favorite is, I think, the glitch in the war zone.
Okay. Yeah, for me it would be the Cavan Scott one, and then the same, for the least favorite.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so close. Like Teddy Sparkles.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And Dismemberment was a lot of fun too.
Yes, as well. Yeah, it's just so good. It's so good.
I appreciate too how the first story in the collection addresses the Master's change in gender, kind of head on.
Yes.
And the Master having to experience sexism for the first time.
Yeah.
And I wish we would have gotten something similar set slightly earlier in the 13th Doctor's run, because it wasn't until the Witchfinders that her change in gender was really, I think, properly explored.
Yeah.
I mean, you did get a little bit of that in Rosa, but that was...
Yeah, I did think Rosa, but also I guess you don't want it to... Maybe you don't want it so early on in the season because you don't want the viewers to be expecting it to be happening every time.
Yeah, and you'll give her a chance to establish her character. And,
Yes, yeah.
But speaking of gender, I do wish that there wasn't only one woman writer in this collection.
Yeah.
With a book about Missy, you would have expected at least a 50-50 split, if not leaning the other way, but that wasn't the case here.
That's true. Right. Do we give marks to compilations? I think we do, don't we?
Yeah, yep.
Yes, yeah. I think I'm going to give us a 9.
Oh, okay.
I think I've really enjoyed this. I really did. And that's the highest mark I'm sure I've given to a compilation.
I think it is.
Yeah, but I just love this.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some things I could tweak. I suspect that Dismemberment would not have the American Civil War bit now, so I am making some allowances.
For when it was written in.
Yeah. It's I can't give a 7 or an 8 to a compilation that features Teddy Sparkles and Girl Power. How about you?
Well, I really wanted to give this collection a 9 because it was enjoyable and it was a very quick read, but I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay.
Just because it's enjoyable, but it wasn't satisfying enough as a meal. It was definitely more than an appetizer, but something was missing. It needed another side dish, if I'm going to carry on that analogy. It just, it needed an extra story or two for me to at least to round it out. I guess I was just hoping for a little more depth, like a story that went deeper into the psychological reasons for the way she is, she is, and how this incarnation is different from previous incarnations. And I feel like the closest we got to that a few times were comparisons to how her choices during her time on Gallifrey were either similar to or different from the Doctor's, and that was only really hinted at in the Lords and Masters story. And I guess there's a real tragedy or sense of melancholy and tiredness that sometimes comes through Michelle Gomez's portrayal of Missy that was missing here for me. The story's definitely captured all the manic and gleeful shades of Missy, but there are other tones as well. Yeah, something was missing there for me. And maybe someday we'll get, that full-on Missy novel, quote unquote, written by Michelle Gomez.
Yes.
That explores that in more depth. We'll see. But very solid, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, if that happens, I hope James Goss writes it. Well, I think you do get some of that tiredness in Alice and Underland. I know what you mean, but I think, though, the manicness is there, the menace is there, and just the sheer, what on earth is Missy going to do next? I can see why Big Finish have done multiple series with Michelle Gomez. Yeah, there's so much you can do with the character.
And I've started listening to those, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't, but I do want to, so maybe over Christmas.
There's one story in particular, it's not part of the Missy series, but it's part of the Diaries of River Song, where it's just her and River trapped in a cell together for an hour. And it's fantastic. I wonder how the other Master anthology, the one released after the end of Series 12, compares to this one. The I Am the Master one. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But, so that's the Missy Chronicles.
Yeah.
So shall we move on to listener feedback?
Yes, let's.
Listen.
All right. So we have a message this month from Matthew Vernon out in Staffordshire, I think is how it's pronounced.
Staffordshire, yes.
He's wondering if the TARDIS that Missy has in the Missy Chronicles is her Type 212 or Mark 2-12 from her audio series.
Ooh.
And we can confirm that it is not.
Yeah.
So in, is it Cavan Scott's story? It's described as a Type 45 TARDIS.
Yes. Yeah, I was just going to say that it is explicitly said as a Type 45. But at least it's at that point.
And this book came out in February of 2018, which was a full year before her first audio series was released.
Yeah.
And Matthew had replied that it makes sense if you listen to the audios, but now it means that she has a minimum of 2 different TARDISes in this incarnation. He says that the Mark 45 TARDIS likely belonged to the John Sims Saxon Master, and the Mark 212 is a Goth Time War TARDIS, which I guess makes sense if you listen to the audios. But he's sure that the Mark 45 wasn't present in the audios at all, so it's a bit odd and kind of a dangling plot thread now. So he's hoping that in either Missy Series 4 or Missy Series 5 that this is addressed. There's no reason she can't have more than one TARDIS.
Yeah.
Throughout,
yeah.
I mean, so...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she could nick them off people.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, and also, I mean, she gets captured by the Daleks, doesn't she? So maybe after she gets out from that she acquires a new TARDIS?
And isn't there a spare TARDIS somewhere that's disguised as a tree that's different from the house TARDIS that the 13th Doctor destroyed? I think there's still like an
possibly.
extra TARDIS floating out there too.
Yeah.
But anyways, you can write in to correct us at ANDWBC Podcast.
Yes.
And support the show by leaving a quick review or rating on your podcatcher of choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Chris, how about on the Facebook side?
So a usual flurry of likes. I don't think we've had any comments, but on social media, it's always Twitter where we have the action. So
yeah. So this past month, we've heard from Keith Say, 50DW50 on Twitter, who thanks us for the Benny episode Beyond the Sun and says it's enjoyable as always. And we also heard from Red Jonk's tweets regarding finding the receipt in the Benny book. And they mentioned that they've been collecting a lot of secondhand Doctor Who and Benny novels, and they love discovering receipts and inscriptions and such inside them. And it's almost like a mini archaeological, treasure hunt on its own. So thanks for those comments.
cool.
So, Chris, this brings us to what we're reading next time.
Yeah, which is the start of a new Doctor cycle.
Oh, so we're turning off the randomizer then.
We're turning off the randomizer, yes. So this might be a bit of there may be a bit of random to this.
Okay.
So we're going to be going into the missing adventures, but we're going to be meeting a TARDIS pairing that we've not read before.
Ooh.
We're going to be also an author that we've not read before.
Okay.
So we are going to be reading Asylum by Peter Darwell Evans, featuring the Fourth Doctor and Nyssa.
Which was a listener suggestion.
It was a listener suggestion, indeed. So it had been one I'd been considering. So, yeah.
Excellent.
That's what we're going to be doing for November.
And I think that's a past Doctor adventure, right? I think you said missing.
I said Missing Doctor. It's a BBC Past Doctor adventure. Sorry, pardon me.
So, listeners, you don't have to write in about that part.
Yes, sorry about that. Yes.
But still, we haven't done many past Doctor adventures at all, so that's fantastic.
But we haven't done this particular crew, the Fourth Doctor and Nyssa. That was the point I was trying to make.
Ah, yeah.
And we've not done Peter Darwell Evans, I don't think, in any format. I don't think we've had a short story about him.
I think I've read Deceit by him, you know,
Yes.
outside of the podcast years ago, but that may have been my only book that I've read by him. So looking forward to that for November.
Yes. Yeah.
And until next month, this has been Matt in Minnesota.
Chris in South London. Happy reading. Stay safe.
Thank you for listening to the all-new adventures of the Doctor Who Book Club podcast. Special thanks to George C. Music for use of their song Doctor Who Theme Swing Jazz Version. You can follow us on Twitter at ANDWBC Podcast and like us on Facebook. Help other listeners to find us by leaving a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. You can contact the show by emailing your thoughts to andwbcpodcast@gmail.com. And until next month, happy reading.
At one point today, I was in another room but could hear Saunders snoring, which is weird. I don't know how cats snore, but rabbits kind of snore like a distant conversation you can't quite hear, like a general little hubbub. So I was like, are there two people standing outside the house chatting? It's like, oh, no, it's a rabbit snoring a bit louder than normal.
Oh, that's very cute.
Yeah, very sweet. Anyway, right.